I'm Oskar.
I'm Oskar.
I'm Oskar.
And I'm Dan.
And I'm Dan.
And I'm Dan.
And today we are in
Uganda,
San Marino,
Bosnia,
Tbilisi,
Lithuania, Latvia,
Brazil,
Paraguay, Sri Lanka, Saudi Arabia,
Morocco,
Malta, Israel,
Bulgaria,
Romania, Bolivia, Panama,
El Salvador.
Cyprus.
It all started back in May of 1997. During that month, on 2 consecutive days, but in 2 separate countries, baby Dan was born, followed by baby Oskar.
In these 2 separate countries during 2 separate childhoods, a similar curiosity for the world was born. Little did these boys know that they would find each other at Hvitfeldtska High School in Gothenburg, Sweden, 17 years later.
Little Dan was the son of a Swedish mother and an American father, but growing up in the UK, he still managed to acquire this accent. When Dan was 9, his parents got divorced and he moved with his mother and little brother to Sweden.
Meanwhile, little Oskar was born into a Swedish family in a small town outside Gothenburg. It was a homogeneous place, and little Oskar couldn't wait to get older, leave his bubble, and see the world. At age 16, he did exactly that and moved to the US on an exchange program for a year. When he returned, he somehow ended up at the same school and in the same class as me.
4 months after we met, we decided to spend more time together. And after another 4 months, we took our first ever trip, which led us to Amsterdam and Rome. After that, we had a hard time standing still.
We're on Alitalia. We've had an amazing trip. I'm so sad to go home, but we're going to California and New York together this summer, and the rest of the world after that. This is not the last time we're gonna fly together, and
We started trying to find every way we could to travel more. Oskar picked up every work opportunity he could at his study abroad organization, while I had just started making money off my YouTube channel about airplanes. We made it to another 6 countries together before our high school graduation.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. It's not safe.
With our savings from high school and some sustained revenue from Dan's YouTube channel, and me doing Swedish tutoring online,
Svenska är mitt modersmål och jag har bott I Sverige nästan hela mitt liv.
we set out to take a gap year.
Ancient eyes.
During this year off, we managed to hit 23 new countries, going to Asia, Africa, Oceania, and South America for the first time.
Now we're in the beginning of a 3-week interrail trip. We're in Prague. So many people just storming onto this platform.
We're on our way to Bratislava.
We learned so much during our year off, meeting people from backgrounds and with perspectives that were so different from our own. It really felt like we were learning about the world for real for the first time in our lives.
Once our gap year came to a close, we moved all the way to San Francisco to attend a newly founded and experimental university called Minerva. At the time, the school didn't even have any graduates, so choosing it was definitely a risk. However, it came with the benefit of having classmates from over 60 different countries, and the best part was that we'd be able to study in 7 different cities around the world as part of the school's global rotation.
Thanks to this, we got to live in San Francisco, Seoul, South Korea, and Hyderabad, India. But 2 years after our studies began, we started questioning why we were there in the first place. At this point, Dan's YouTube channel was really taking off, and I spent a lot of time composing music. We decided to take yet another risk and take a leave of absence from the school while we focused on building our independent careers. We were able to continue traveling thanks to our revenue streams, but as 2019 drew to a close, we asked ourselves a question that had been nagging at us for a while. We're having all these incredible experiences. But how are we going to remember all of these things if we're not documenting them?
As the year 2020 began, we had been to 47 countries. We decided to finally start recording our trips to save for our future selves, friends, family, and kids. And we started talking about visiting every country in the world. The idea felt so daunting, so we decided to set up an initial goal of 100 countries. Well, as we all know, January and February 2020 were alright, but as March rolled along, the world shut down and we returned home in a frenzy from Indonesia.
And 90% of international air traffic to and from China has been stopped.
As the world started opening up more and more during 2021 and 2022, we could start visiting new places again, but in a very different post-COVID world. We obviously couldn't be very selective about where we went, but rather chose the countries that made sense based on travel restrictions.
Oh, it's so cold. All the snow and ice and... Oh, it's not cold at all, actually.
Eventually, we hit 60 countries, 70, 80, 90, and now, here we are, on our way to visit country number 100. It may be a journey that officially began 3 years ago, but it has also been a full 25 years in the making since those 2 consecutive days in May of 1997, when we entered the world. Thank you so much for watching this long intro story, and now we give you our journey to our 100th country.
Good morning. It is 6:15 a.m. We got up half an hour ago and we are about to head to the airport and catch our first flight on our way to our 100th country. It's way too early to even fathom what's going on right now. Woohoo!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let's go.
We are so sad, just like every time, to leave Bangkok. It's one of our favorite cities in the world, one of our favorite countries in the world, but it's for a very good reason.
Alright, so today we have 2 flights on our way to our final destination. First, we're transiting in a country we've been to before, and once we're there, some options are obviously gonna be eliminated. It's crazy to think that about 3 years ago, we set out to actually do this, to go to 100 countries. And I think at that point we'd been to 47 countries. And it's just so crazy to imagine ourselves back then, who we were back then, where our minds were at that time. I really feel like we've come so far. We've learned so much on this journey, and we'll talk more about that. But it has truly been the journey of a lifetime in many ways.
So now we have a flight of approximately 9 hours to our first stop of the day.
We won't show you any departure boards or any gate screens.
This is one of those moments where it just doesn't sink in, you know? It's something you worked for so long. It's like when you graduate, it takes weeks after for it to sink in that this actually happened. So right now we're just like, wow, today is graduation day. Flight number 1 to country 100. Let's go.
It's happening. Alright, vlogging from the bathroom because it's a little awkward to vlog out by the seats. But as you saw, we're flying Thai Airways, so that doesn't really give you more clues, I guess, because we're literally just going from Bangkok and could be going anywhere that Thai Airways flies. Really, we're actually going. Hours later, we have made it somewhere.
So good evening. It is currently, what is the time now? Oh my god, it's 11 p.m. and our shuttle leaves at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Fun times. Our flight is at 6:15, so we'll also be super stressful, but the 5 a.m. shuttle is the first one and it should take 3 minutes, so we'll make it, but it will be close.
You guys know we like cutting it close.
We've had the most stressful travel day in a long time. For some reason, I would say 9 times out of 10 in hotels, we're always the furthest room from the elevator. So tonight, we got one of the closest rooms, which feels like a blessing.
Okay, we have a little bar and...
Let's pause.
Alright, so where in the world are we?
Well, we're down under. night with Down Under.
We're in the home of H2O, just add water.
So we're in Melbourne, but we're just connecting here to anywhere there is a direct flight, and obviously not Australia since we've been here before.
Exactly. So the world is still our oyster.
Well, it's unlikely we're going to Chad.
That's true. So we're gonna try to catch a few hours of sleep, and then tomorrow we're heading for our super early morning flight to our 100th country. So time to sleep, and we'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. Oh.
Wow, what a night. What a night. No, wait, where's that from? Mamma Mia! August 3rd. What a night.
August 4th. What a night.
It is not even 5 a.m. It's cold outside, even though it's summer, in the nicest way. It must be like 14 degrees or something.
Such a nice change up to Thailand.
Oh, I don't want a lot for Christmas.
We're gonna get so many Australian haters from this.
Well, let's go. Oh my god. I'm obsessed with Aesop toiletries, but they're so pricey, so I rarely buy them. Of course, they're from Australia, so I think this might be the cheapest place to buy it. Successfully splurged. I feel like we're gonna splurge this entire trip because we need to celebrate and buy what we want. I got a complete breakfast feast thanks to Priority Pass. Not sponsored either. Look at this.
Whoa. Almost for free. $5.
Yeah, $5 Australian dollars.
So last night was honestly a bit of a it was like a joke.
It was painful because we both fell asleep. I fell asleep quite easily.
Me too. I was like impressed by myself.
And then all of a sudden an alarm goes off, like a really loud alarm, and we're like, wow, that was a quick night.
And I was like, I'm ready to get up, I'm ready to go, you know.
And then we realized that it was the hotel alarm clock that was going off, and it was only 1 a.m. We were supposed to get up at 4:40.
And when we realized, I was literally like, I'm gonna take this alarm clock, I'm gonna throw it out the window, I'm gonna jump on it, and then after that, like, I just couldn't fall back asleep.
It's like, of all the nights when we're gonna be disturbed by a hotel alarm clock, it has to be the one where we have 5 hours of sleep.
But of course, that won't get in the way of what's currently happening. Going to our 100th country, like, it feels so surreal.
Yeah, for me, the number is fun. Like, it's really fun that we have completed our goal successfully. Yeah. Well, almost. We're not there yet, but I'm just so excited about the country we're going to.
Yeah.
Like, the goal is secondary to the country.
This was not how I pictured it to feel. It doesn't really feel like we're reaching this huge milestone or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like we're going to any other country.
But it's what we've noticed, like, with every goal, like 80, 90, every time you reach like a new number, it's always like, well, okay. Yeah, now it's like, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy and excited. We've been to so many challenging countries this year. I'm so grateful that we saved our 100th country to a not challenging country at all. I think it will be one of the easiest places we've traveled in a very long time.
Let's just say that we've saved a not too, I guess, exotic country for the last one, but a very exciting one at that. Oh my god, first of all, the air is amazing. Oh, it smells of fresh grass.
The funny thing is that I'm really resisting trying to love this place because I'm like, there could not be a worse place to love when you live where we live. But Sometimes you can't help it. I am in awe of this car. To be fair, this is like all they had left when we booked.
The trunk is massive.
Finally room for our bags, which is very rare when we rent a car. This is so insane.
Absolutely out of this world. I don't have words. So, if you still don't know where we are, I guess here comes the big reveal.
Country 100 is...
On 3?
3, 2, 1.
New Zealand! Country 100. Let's go.
Kia ora. So if you want to see our adventures here, and maybe even more valuable and importantly, see what we've learned from traveling to 100 countries, both personally, about the world, about other people. We're going to share so many reflections on this trip. It's been such a journey. We're just so happy to be here. And what an incredible 100th country. It honestly couldn't have ended better. And we're so grateful for you guys coming along on this entire journey. Well, since like country 60 or so. During the last 40 countries, you guys have been the best company and the best support. But this is just the start. Who knows what's next? We do. And we'll share that as well. This is where we're staying the next 2 nights, and if you want to see inside, gotta watch the next video. And make sure you're subscribed.
Again, guys, we cannot stress enough how grateful we are to you for coming along on this crazy journey. We are so excited for next year because we have a whole bunch of exciting things planned, and we can't wait to continue sharing our journey through life with you.
But first, we are so stoked to finally share our experience traveling through country number 100, the insanely beautiful New Zealand that has instantly shot up to our top 5 countries in the world.
So until we see you in our next video when we show you our tiny home here in Queenstown, see you around the world.
And New Zealand.